Coolness17. The coolest of the cool. That's me. And it's time for another episode of Pengview. Yeah. So what are we going to be doing now? Well, we are going to be doing a pretty infamous topic, video game adaptations. Now, video game adaptations are pretty notorious and not really praised. Yeah, video game adaptations are, not very, good. Now, nowadays, they are pretty better. They're better now. Like, we got the Sonic movie, we got the Castlevania show on Netflix, Detective Pikachu, the Cuphead show also on Netflix, a lot of things, but back then, yeah, they weren't that good. So what are we going to be talking about today? Super Mario Bros. Super Show, Adventure of Sonic the Hedgehog, or Sonic Underground, any of that? No. We're going to be talking about something which I don't think you've ever heard of in your life. The Rayman animated TV series. Yes, really. You never knew this existed, but it did. You probably never knew it, but it did exist. So, yeah. So the Rayman animated TV series is a show that came out in 1999 based on the character Rayman. Yep. So, yeah, they made a show about Rayman. Yeah. And from the actual footage, you may not even think it's a Rayman show. But it actually is. Look, there he is, Rayman. He's being there, Yeah. And that's an issue. That's an issue because it doesn't really feel like a Rayman show. It feels like just some other show that Ubisoft was like, okay, put Rayman in it. We want more promotion. Honestly, though, Rayman is such a good franchise. You got 3 great 2D platformers and 2 awesome 3D platformers. And Ubisoft doesn't even care about him anymore. Why are you like this, Ubisoft? Why? Why? You shouldn't be like this. And despite the issue I just told you, will it actually be good? Or will it just be another cash grab? Well, let's find out. Alright, now, what are the origins of the Rayman animated TV series? Well, I pretty much just summed it up. It was based on Rayman. Rayman initially started out as a 2D platformer called, well, Rayman. It was initially on the Atari Jaguar, but was eventually ported to other platforms like the Sega Saturn and PlayStation, where it saw tons of success. So we got a sequel, Rayman 2: The Great Escape, which was critically acclaimed as all hell, and it still is to this very day. So they wanted to make a real, like an adaptation of it to a TV series, promoting it. And, it doesn't do a good job at being an adaptation of Rayman 2. I mean, we don't see Glowbox, we don't see Murphy, we don't see Lee the Fairy, we don't see anyone who is actually in this game apart from Rayman and Captain Razorbeard, who, by the way, looks absolutely awful, and it's only in the first episode and barely. So now that we got the Rayman animated series origin out of the way, Rayman Origins, that's the game that Rayman was in. But anyways, let's go into the actual series. Alright, so first of all, I'm actually going to be reviewing the full series, like all the episodes, so since there are only 4 of them, let's begin. So, it starts off with a tent of a circus, just flying by. You wanna know what the circus is called? Rigatoni. That's the name of the villain, which we barely see. Yeah, the villain, we barely see him, like Captain Razorbeard, we barely see him. He's only in the first episode. I guess he was supposed to appear later on, but the show got canceled after 4 episodes due to not really performing well, but they named him after a pasta. They just did it for no reason. So we see Rigatoni, past these 4 imprisoned people. Lackmag, a bunny, Cookie, yes, Cookie, a dog with glasses apparently, Bettina, a woman, and then there was the fairy who was called Flips, yeah, there. Nailed it. So they all do their circus act, and they're actually prisoned here in the Great Pasta place. So after the act, they all go back into their cages and spin them around for some reason. I don't know. But by the way, I like seen the series like a month ago, and so I had to keep on delaying it. So I don't have the best memory of it, but I'll sure as hell try my best. So we see Rayman. He's the last main character to appear, and they're trying to make him do a circus act. They try to tempt him with dinner.
Tricks, and then maybe we'll feed you. Oh, thanks anyway. I had a big lunch.
They try to make him perform, but they just can't anyway, so yeah. So they all try to escape and end up succeeding. So there they go, they're out. And so the rest of the series just follows the escapades of them trying to escape. And, trying not to get caught. But like I said, this Rigatoni guy, he doesn't even appear for, like, the rest of the series. So who is the person who, who's the person who's actually, actually making, actual conflict in this? So, yeah, it's a police officer, and, he's tricked into thinking that they're all criminals.
Okay. Detective Grubb? Well, listen, Detective Grubb, I just lost my prize act. I want you on the streets, patrolling all day and all night if you have to. Yes, sir, Mr. Rigatoni, sir. I will get my revenge on that Rayman freak.
So the next day, they all need a car, but you want to know how they pronounce it?
Friend here can fix your car.
Ca. Yes, that's how they pronounce it. They pronounce it ca. And they also pronounce ba. Billy West voices Rayman. So these, guys, they're all driving around their car, but the police officer finds them, and he tries to get them. Like, that's the conflict now. There's a police officer who's trying to get them, and they have to escape. But he ends up crashing into a bunch of crates. No, jack-in-the-boxes. So they all go to a park and just rest there. But then Cookie's like, no, this shouldn't have happened. I don't want to do this.
Haven't done anything wrong. Try telling that to the man with a nice siren. I'm gonna do what I should have done a long time ago. Write my last will and testament. Come on, Lack-Mack. Let's go.
Why'd we even take him with us?
Oh, come on, Bettina. He means well.
Not now, Flips.
So Flips want to show off the teddy bear that he found in the trash, but no one wants to see it because they're too busy. I love how there actually exist teddy bears that are this small. So Flips goes back into the car. Oh, sorry. I meant to ca. Then it's towed away. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm going to be referring to car as ca throughout the whole thing. So, yeah. So then Rayman disguises himself in the most horrible way possible and asks the cop where the car is headed. But then Rayman accidentally exposes himself.
Too kind.
They're actually being serious. Rayman actually did that. Like, is he really that stupid? Really? So they go to where the car is Kaz headed, to the dump. But then there's this thing which is chomping at everything. Oh, but seriously, why is the junkyard in hell? What? The cat is about to be eaten, but Rayman uses his powers in order to save. Wait a minute. It's actually being faithful to the games? What? I never thought that actually happened, but it did. So yeah, he saved, or she is saved, whatever gender it is. So they go off, with the cop trying to give chase, but his cat gets eaten.
There goes my car.
No. He said it wrong. He's supposed to say cat. You said it wrong. He said something wrong. Wow, that's not very professional now, is it? So after all that, they find a good place to live, or so they think. The police officers live right beneath them, so yeah. But they're able to hide it, so yeah. So now Cookie has a headache. By the way, one of Cookie's character traits is that he's really picky, and he wants to go back to the circus, apparently. So Cookie is taken to the doctors, so yeah. So after a test, it's said that he's crazy. Cookie is crazy, and honestly, I think that's about right.
Give or take 10 pounds around the midsection. But there is one thing. I knew it. What does it mean? Well, given the frequency of psychosomatic symptomology, medical judgment dictates that the patient, that would be you, should be committed.
Committed?
He should be put in a nut house. No, Cookie. No, no. Are you crazy? Are you mad? No. Yeah.
So now Cookie is in the nut house, and they have to go get him now. So, to make a long story short, they try to find Cookie. The police officer, who by the way name is Grub. Yes, Grub. So yeah, that's his name, Grub. So yeah, he's rescued. And they think that Grubhub, yeah, I'm just gonna call him Grubhub. They think Grubhub is Cookie, so they put him there. So in the next episode, the characters need something to eat, but they think Grubhub is still there, so they need to check. And they check it through a microscope, or whatever scope it is. And they see that Grubhub has some flowers, and he's like tidying up his house. So they presume that he has a date, and they presume that he won't go after them. He won't go after them when he has a girlfriend. Like, what? That's the most stupidest logic of all time. He's a police officer. Why would he stop? He thinks that you're a criminal. Why would he give up? So, Grubhub's date comes. Look at how fat Grubhub is. Presumably, like, Grubhub makes him fat, but he accidentally hits his girlfriend with an umbrella. And they also accidentally burn what they're gonna have for dinner. So, they decide to help them. They purposely set off the fire alarm so that they have time to tidy up the living room. Grubhub continues to make an utter fool of himself by actually handing out the burned dish, and it tastes disgusting. And then the cap in his ball of wine accidentally hits his girlfriend's nose. I mean, it's wine, maybe. It would make sense if it's wine, since Ubisoft is French. Lackmack and Cookie make some stuff, they make a bunch of good food, But then Lackmack accidentally drops some plates, and apparently food can become deflated. But some food is still good, so he can still give it to her. But then Grubhub accidentally messes up everything, and then his girlfriend just leaves. And it's now time for the infamous Rayman's awkward song.
Sorry for the date, hope I'm not too late. The date went so wrong, so I wrote this song. These flowers are to make up for the sorrow. How about the movies tomorrow?
It's like a kid singing at a talent show. So Grubhub and his girlfriend are back together now because Rayman is singing his awkward song and disguises Grubhub, and apparently that's all enough. Like, that awkward song, she apparently falls for. And the credits are in Comic Sans, so extra points are taken away, so yeah. So overall, Rayman the Animated Series is pretty mediocre, all things considered. Like I said, it barely has anything to do with Rayman. Barely any of the Rayman characters themselves actually show up. The animation wasn't that good. And once again, the characters mispronounce words. For some reason, like bar and car, like I said, they're pronounced ba and ka. Yeah. Like, it's not really that good. It's mediocre. It's not terrible. It's not absolutely horrible. But at the end of the day, it's a weird little oddity. And it's not really worth watching. Like, I just give it sort of like a 4 out of 10 or something, or maybe a 5 out of 10, maybe. Yeah, maybe, 5 out of 10. Yeah, 5 out of 10 for this. So.